Hey garden friends, I'm Nikki from Proven Winners Direct, and I have 7 new beautiful plants to show you for this week's plant of the day. We feature a new plant every day of the week that's on sale, 30% off. And on Mondays from noon until 4 Eastern Standard Time, you can get all of them at a great discount. So I'm super excited about today. I swear every time I step into the greenhouse, something else is just exploding in gorgeous color. And so I get more and more excited to show everything off to you guys. But this week we've got some 2023 varieties that you may never have seen before. I've got a really cute award-winning annual that you are going to love. And I'm just super excited. Don't forget, if you like what you're seeing, if you like what we're showing with this plant of the day, be sure to give us a like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out. You'll get a notification every time we publish a new video, and you'll learn all about our new pretty plants. So let's go to the pretties. Our first plant of the day is the Supertunia lovey-dovey, and that's these beautiful bicolor blooms here. I just grabbed a couple other plants that I wanted to show you as some good pairings. But the lovey-dovey, as like all of our glorious Supertunias, they just grow and grow and grow. They can trail up to 3 feet, so they are beautiful in your containers. Also work wonderful in the landscape. But Supertunias are going to be the biggest bang for your buck because they get so big. It doesn't take nearly as many plants to fill up a space when you're growing Supertunias. So what I love about the lovey-dovey is obviously this beautiful bicolor bloom. They're so cute. I picked a jazzberry up to pair with it. Look at how pretty that is. And then I also wanted you to see the yellow. This is the Super Bells yellow. However, I would not recommend planting the bells with a tunia if you're not an experienced gardener. If you're a beginner and you want to grow these beautiful bells, I would do them on their own because the Supertunias is going to need a lot more water. And the lovey-dovey has won so many awards at University of Minnesota, Michigan State University, go green, but they won top performer awards. There were so many I would never be able to remember to tell you, but the top performer is the one that I noticed most. Top performer in the landscape, top performer in hanging baskets, top performer in the containers, early season, mid-season, late season. If you are looking for top performance, you cannot go wrong with these beautiful Supertunia lovey-doveys. I lovey-dovey them. Our next plant of the day is the Proven Accents White Licorice plant. And I think these guys are severely underrated. They are so gorgeous. This beautiful foliage, it's very soft and velvety, and I just love this color green. You can pair it with anything, the warm colors, the cool colors, anything. I love it with purple and white. It's like so rich and just kind of classy looking. But again, hot pinks would just pop off of this. It fills out super nice. It's more of a trailer in a container or in a hanging basket, but it also gets really nice and full. So it brings this just like wispy, elegant look to your combinations. I love it. And it does work well in the landscape as well. I would suggest it as a border plant. It gets about 11 to 18 inches tall, but it can spread up to 20 inches. And so it does have some nice spread, so make sure it does have some good space in the landscape, but it'll fill in so nice. They're gorgeous. So it's an annual. It is hardy in zones 9 through 11. All of our Proven Winners annuals love the water-soluble fertilizer, and this guy is no different. I don't think you need to do it as much as you would like your Supertunias or your Super Bells, but weekly I would recommend, but it's just gonna keep filling out and putting this gorgeous foliage wherever you place it. It's a beautiful plant, severely underrated. Next up, we have the Shadowland Water Slide Hosta. And as you can tell, these guys stay a little bit smaller than the other ones, and their foliage is a bit longer and more slender, but I love the little ruffles along the edges. It's a beautiful, perfect blue hosta, so that means you're definitely gonna wanna look for the shade. I know I keep mentioning hostas in all of our videos because I love them so much, but these actually do really need the shade. In colder climates, you can probably get away with part shade, but if you're in a warmer climate, you definitely want to be in full shade. They are hardy in zones 3 through 9, and they only get to about 14 inches tall, but they can spread up to 2 feet over time. As you can tell, these guys are a little bit smaller, but I love that pointy, it's like a frilly, whimsy look. but because of their size, they would be super great in containers. They would be perfect with like some soprano impatiens in a really nice shady spot. You could even throw a couple of the Hukras in there to bring some pops of color. Super pretty. But Hostas, they come back year after year, you guys, and they're no fuss. You don't have to do anything to them. And they just keep coming back and providing this beautiful foliage that I love so, so much. You'll notice as the spring and towards the end of spring, they're gonna get these tall, beautiful stems that have the perfect lavender flower that all of your hummingbirds are going to love. Our next plant of the day is the Primo Mahogany Monster Hukra, and these guys are perfect for pops of color. We have the coral bells in all the colors that you can imagine. This one is gorgeously that burgundy rich, almost like there's some purple undertones. It's so pretty. And I love so much the blooms. They have these long, strong stems and those cute little cream pink blooms up top. They're gorgeous perennial in zones 4 through 9. These guys can go in sun or shade, so you can literally put them anywhere. They pair so great with hostas and all of the other hukra, and you can just do all of your colors throughout. Now this is a quart size that we have available, so they're perfect for both containers and the landscape. I did grow some hukra in my spring containers this year. I think I did the wild berry, and they were perfect. They added just that touch of color and that texture, because as you can tell, they sway beautifully in the breeze. So just good movement in your gardens. The color though, I could totally see this paired with like a lighter color to really pop that contrast. Like, oh gosh, I can imagine a container full of all different kinds of whites and then this guy just popping out. But they're just an easy, super easy plant. They're gonna come back and provide this gorgeous color for you year after year after year. And again, sun or shade, so you can put them anywhere. And all of our pollinator friends love these cute little blooms. You guys, look around. Can you stand the gorgeous colors and these beautiful blooms? Heaven, heaven on earth. Okay, our next plant of the day is the new for 2023 reblooming Let's Dance Skyview gorgeous hydrangea. I can't take it. So this beauty that I'm holding, we have not pruned back this year, as goes for all of these beauties to my left. Now the ones on the right, you can tell they're a little bit smaller and have less blooms. These were pruned about 5 to 6 weeks ago, but you can tell they're still putting on a magnificent show. So they bloom on new and old wood, which means that just multiplies your flower power. And actually, the Skyviews are actually one of the best rebloomers we've ever had in the big leaf category. Easy, easy, and just bountiful, gorgeous blooms. And actually, we're learning that this is actually the easiest hydrangea to turn that blue color that we all know and love. So they are hardy in zones 4 through 9. They grow to be about 2 to 3 feet tall and wide, and they can grow in part to full sun. Now, I always recommend if you're in a warmer climate, make sure you give it a reprieve from that harsh afternoon sun. So you're gonna want a spot that's got some nice shade in the afternoon. But regardless of where you live, these guys are known for those consistent, beautiful blooms, whether you're growing them in Michigan or Florida. And another great thing about the Max is they're really great in both containers and the landscape. So if you love them and you can't resist them, because how can you? And you're filled up in your landscape, but you still have to have it, throw these cuties in a pot and they are going to provide you with the most stunning, gorgeous blooms all season long. Our next plant of the day is the baby Kim Lilacs, and these guys are fairly new. I think they came out in about 2001, but they bring all of the joy of the beautiful lilacs in a nice, neat, tidy, small habit. So they're actually a dwarf size lilac, and they only get like 2 to 3 feet tall and wide. So you can put these beauties in any sunny spot, regardless of the space that you have, and still enjoy that beautiful fragrance that we all covet and love every spring. So the baby Kims, as I mentioned, only 2 to 3 feet tall and wide. They have a beautiful mounded habit, so they stay nice and clean and tidy. So the great thing about the baby Kims, they're extremely disease resistant, easy to grow. The only thing about lilacs that you really would need to pay attention to is that they don't like wet feet. So they don't like that wet, soggy conditions. So for somebody like me, that's actually better because I tend to forget to water, right? Really easy when you're growing and planting initially. I always recommend the continuous release fertilizer for your shrubs and perennials when you're planting. I use it with my annuals too, but I digress. These guys have beautiful dark green foliage that really pops. I mean, you can kind of tell now, like the newer growth, how it's the lighter green. I love this glossy dark green, and they have a really deep dark purple bloom. They smell just as beautiful as any lilac that you're used to, but that dark bloom stays dark and it doesn't fade to white, which is a huge bonus. Our final plant of the day comes from a special request. We had a couple of you from our previous video asked to see some fun colored coleus that love the sun, and there could not be a better choice than the Color Blaze MiniMe watermelon. So this is actually a new variety for 2023, extra bonus, and it is so fun. So if you're used to growing coleus, it has a much larger foliage and it grows in like an upright habit. So the difference between this guy and that is, as you can tell, it's got a much narrower leaf. And as it matures, you'll notice it's got this really awesome serration. So it's just very fun and whimsical. I actually grew this last year in some window boxes, and it stays under 2 feet tall and wide. So most coleus can really grow. They can get up to like 3 feet tall. So this is a nice mounded compact habit. And the cool thing about all of our Color Blaze coleus is that they have been bred so that they bloom later in the season. So some people do and some people don't like the cute blooms. I believe, if I remember correctly, this one has like a lavender, a light purple bloom, and it just happens later, so you don't have to worry about it. I always snip mine off. I'm one that doesn't care for the bloom, but it grew beautifully, this beautiful whimsical habit in my window boxes. I loved it. Oh, the other thing about this guy is it can go in sun or shade. So really it can go anywhere, but I know a few of you were looking for the ones that love the sun. One thing to keep in mind, if you guys are planting them in the shade, the more sun it gets, the more vibrance it's gonna get. So if you're really looking for that pop of color, which this guy has beautiful red, green, yellow, all of the colors that you love, give it some more sun. The other thing I want to mention about our Color Blaze coleus is I pulled this one, so this is the exact same plant, but I want you to see that some of them, when they're young like this, you know, they don't take on all the beautiful color in the foliage, but as they mature, they will. So if you happen to get one and it looks like this, don't worry, it's the correct plant. As with all of the multicolored coleus, there's going to be some variations in that, but that's kind of what makes them so fun. As I said, I love these in my window boxes, so they're great in containers. They're a perfect filler. It can be a thriller too, because they do stay under 2 feet, but that can be pretty tall in comparison to what you're planting with it. Also great in the ground. They look really pretty, probably front to mid landscape. Just a really nice, easy, gorgeous pop of color. Deer resistant, drought tolerant. It really doesn't get any better than the Color Blaze coleus. That does it for our 7 new gorgeous plant of the days for this week. I hope you found something that you've never seen before, or at least just enjoyed those gorgeous hydrangeas alongside me. Stunning. And this Nyphophia is really nice too right now, actually. Everything is just booming. But I hope you found something new for your garden or learned something new about one of our plants. As we said before, if you like learning about this content and seeing these gorgeous plants, be sure to give us a like and subscribe. All of the plants that we showed in today's episode are going to be on sale this week only, a new plant each day starting at 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on Monday, you can get all of them at 30% off right on our website, provenwinnersdirect.com. Happy planting! Look at all these hostas! They're everywhere! I'm gonna take one of each home with me.